The best way to deter a nuclear attack on U.S. soil is to threaten to retaliate by bombing Islamic holy sites like Mecca and Medina. Those are the words of Republican presidential hopeful Tom Tancredo. The Colorado congressman says he thinks a terror attack here could be imminent, and he said the U.S. needs to quickly find a way to stop it. He said of a threat to attack these holy sites, quote, "That's the only thing I can think of that might deter somebody from doing what they otherwise might do. There have to be negative consequences for the actions they take. That's the most negative I can think of," unquote. Tancredo insists the harsh approach is necessary in order to prevent a worldwide collapse. An Islamic advocacy group is calling his statements unworthy of anyone seeking public office in the United States. But Tancredo's campaign says he stands by what he said. In fact, it isn't the first time he said this stuff. A couple of years ago, Tancredo received international criticism when he told a radio host you could take out Islamic holy sites if terrorists ever launched a nuclear attack against the U.S. So here's the question. Republican presidential hopeful Tom Tancredo says the best way to deter a nuclear terror attack on U.S. soil is to threaten to retaliate by bombing Islamic holy sites. Got a better idea? Karen in Michigan writes, "I'll be the brave soul and put this out there. Remember World War II in Japan? Answer, point, set, match. Done. Silence." Sylvia in Denver, Tom Tancredo's off the wall almost all the time. He's of the same mind as the terrorists themselves, bombing civilian religious sites. He's not playing with a full deck, and he's an embarrassment to Colorado. Gary in Wisconsin writes, "I don't have a better idea other than to say, yes, tough talk and action are needed to deter future attacks. The terrorist problem will not fade away, and terrorist groups have no diplomats and no desire to partake in diplomacy. The Pollyanna ideal of some Americans that war is never the answer only works on a bumper sticker." Jerry, who is a UN peacekeeper, retired now. So when U.S. has bombed the holy sites, what other deterrent is there after that? The extremists would have nothing to lose and more to fuel their anger. It's the most short-sighted and stupid suggestion I've ever heard. Morley writes, "The only thing I might do with Mr. Tancredo's idea is to refine it a little bit. Threaten to bomb Qum, and Iran will stop being the power behind the terrorists. Medina and Mecca are holy to all Muslims, peaceful and otherwise. Don't alienate the peaceful ones in order to punish the guilty." Steve writes, "I'm embarrassed to admit this man's my representative. I think he needs to do some homework on the collective psyche of Islamic fundamentalists. The theme of honor killing and revenge is so strong among them. Violence doesn't stop violence. I think he's just trying to appeal to a macho base." And finally, Joe writes this, "Tom Tancredo has picked up on an idea I had immediately after 9/11. I call it, grab them by their Mecca and Medina and their hearts and minds will follow. Maybe then the so-called Islamic moderates will get their wild dogs on a leash."